Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. Start off with Spinelli. That was a really awkward scene. Okay, in the beginning, that was a really awkward scene, and it's gonna take me a couple hours to get that image out of my head. Um, I don't really understand why Maxie is that surprised that that Spinelli could want to go out with somebody like Britt, seeing how you dated her. I mean, she talks about the opposites. Oh, well, he's nice and she's very, cold and distant and whatever. I'm just like, boo, you were in the fashion. He was in the comic books. And yet, y'all got married or non-married or whatever the hell they want to call it and had a child together. I just, even when he was sitting there saying, opposites attract, it's like, why do we even need to get to that point? You're living proof that Spinelli would sometimes choose or could possibly choose to go out with somebody who's not like him. I mean, hell, he went out with, what was his name? Ellie or something like that, and so that went. Now, towards the end, well, to be fair, he went out with Ellie for a while, so I really should take that back. But, towards the end of their scene, he's not there talking about matches and stuff like that and how he wouldn't use his own program on himself. But when he talks about, oh, well, what if I can, what if it matches me up with somebody who I can never be with? And he looks at Maxie, and of course, right then and there, they're probably going to do something to try to get them back together. I mean, from what I heard, he gave Nathan a pretty hard time as well. How he even actually jumped in the ring for some odd reason to sit there and fight him. So, I don't think he's ever fully gotten over Maxie. And, I feel like at some point they're going to sit there and try to play that up again. So Cody punches Scotty in the face, and they're both, you got Liesl and Britt. It's like, yo, what the hell what's going on with you? And, it took Ulbrich to sit there and, well, practically name him in the nuts to get him to kind of calm down a little bit. Now, he says this line about, you could be my father in another lifetime or something like that. I'm just like, what does that mean? Well, at first, he does sit there and say, I'm not going to lie, I don't remember exactly what he said, but they took it as, what, are you his father or whatever? And he's like, no, I said that you could be my father in another lifetime. I was like, I don't know what that means. I don't get that. Unless his father is not Scotty. Because all I know is that he's angry at Scott because Serena got, an inheritance that she just blew a lot of money on, saving the whales and the environment and stuff like that. And so he wasn't really too happy about that. But, he said he respected her for, her looking out for the environment and animals and stuff like that. So I'm just like, so why are you punching him in the face? I'm not gonna lie, I feel like he gave us a bit of breadcrumbs. And it wasn't enough. It wasn't even remotely enough. If he came out and was like, no, you're my dad. Yeah, we could sit there and file the DNA test or whatever. Because he knew, like his mother was named like Dominique. And, he said half sister. I'm not going to lie. I have no idea what the hell is going on and why he decided to hit him in the face. But it doesn't really matter because he got arrested anyway. But I feel like it's more to it, though. And I'm just not just saying you're my half, she's my half sister. It's like, it just would have been so much better if he would have been like, no, you're my father. So I felt like in a lot of ways, they gave us breadcrumbs at best. Unless I'm interpreting this whole scene wrong, and please feel free, tell me in the comment section how you interpret it, because I felt like I have more questions than I got answers. And I get it's a soap opera, but it's kind of annoying, especially for me. When I'm sitting there reviewing, it's just like, what the hell did I even watch? And like I said, Dante came in there and he arrested him after Sonny finished. Hmm, he has a very interesting style of kissing, and it's almost like he just like tries to eat your whole face. That's the only way I can sit there and describe. I think that's another reason why it just like makes me turn my head whenever I see him kissing um Nina. I actually tell you the truth, I think that's how he kisses most women, unless I'm wrong. Unless he just started doing this recently. But after he finished, being with Nina, he goes to see Spencer. And, he tells him, like, yo, listen, I got some guys that can, kind of help you out, kind of, watch your back. He was proud of him. He was proud of him for, doing the right thing. Even though that it may not even exonerate Trina. Which, again, I guess at the very least, it gave reasonable doubt, if nothing else. But I mean, let's be honest. This whole him going to jail, I mean, him breaking out of jail to leave flowers for his mother was like, bro, you could have did this in literally 30 days, and I'm pretty sure Courtney not only would she would have understood, but she wouldn't have wanted him doing that in the first place. So to be honest, that part is just still stupid. Not him leaving flowers, but just him being so adamant about it. And it's not like he always did it all the time anyway. When he was away and had his leg broken and everything like that, he had people do that for him. Or maybe not. I'm not too sure. But anyway, now Spencer says something along the lines of, Jordan said I can get my, my sentence reduced if I tell, if I tell her who are the people that help me. And I'm like, no, hell no. No, 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 no. Trust me. It's almost like, are you just trying to make your situation worse? Because he only has to go to Pentville for 30 days. Now, don't get me wrong. It's kind of like going to hell for 30 days. I mean, you may have some people that might kind of help you out, but, well, you're still in hell. And the only thing that he'll do is make his situation worse. And Sonny was like, my line of work, that's not really a good thing. It's like, okay, cool. So you're gonna talk some sense into it, right? You're gonna sit there and tell him about how being a rat is just not a good idea, right? That's what you're gonna do. He's like, well, I can't really sit there and tell you what to do, and you kind of got to do what's best for you. I was like, Sonny, that's not the talk. What? I don't understand how he's not more adamant telling him to not sit there and rest, especially giving, again, his line of work. He should be sitting there saying, no, don't do it. Let my guys sit there and, help you out from time to time. You don't want to do that. Not, well, it's up to you. I mean, I gotta do what's best for you. Like, what? What were you drinking before you got here? How did you say something that? Okay, it's just let's talk about Martin Gray for a minute. So Martin is tailed by Anna, and Anna's like, yo, listen. Because Martin's he got plans. He got plans to Lucy, or he's going to have some plans to Lucy. But of course, he gets stopped by Anna. Anna's like, I want to have a talk with you. Long story short, she asks, like, I need you to sit there and give me some information about Valentine. And Martin's like, no, because I'm his lawyer, I'm his friend. So those two is a definite no. But Martin got ex-wives, okay? There's a either a lot of ex-wives or three ex-wives, but he has ex-wives. And the minute that Anna's like, yeah, during your whole divorce thing, you kind of left some stuff out, like, some assets that you probably should have claimed for the divorce, but you didn't. And I found out, and well, long story short, if you don't, one second. I was trying to get myself away from the glare a little bit. Anyway, long story short, she was like, if you don't sit there and help me out, then I'm gonna sit there and tell the ex-wives. And apparently the third one is just like nuts. Like she's scary. And I wanna meet this third one. I don't think that's gonna happen, but it'll be nice. On a side note, I on Facebook, they got the GH post, they got the GH well, the GH fan site or whatever. And they was posting pictures with Cameron and his wife and Carly, and some people were just like, that was just a waste of time, just an absolute waste of time. And some were sitting there, complimenting her, oh, Vanessa, y'all such a cute couple, and she's so beautiful, and I'm so glad that you have her on. And people were, the thing is, it was just a nice compliment. And people were jumping on them like there was no tomorrow. It was like, how could you sit there and say something like that? They're just a waste of time. And I was like, my God, you people are like, all she said was that they look nice together. And apparently this person wasn't even allowed to say that. Um, and these aren't people that are like passionate about GH. These are people that are fanatics. And I 100% get that they felt like it was a waste of time, because it was, but all I'm going to sit there and say is, if you go on, General Hospital Facebook page, just know that there's going to be a lot of negativity, and my goodness. And again, I want to sit there and preface, I want to sit there and make this perfectly clear that this is not my comment section, that this is, General Hospital's comment section on Facebook. Sorry about the glare, but it's just like, unless I get like some sort of black, um, shades or whatever, it's just, uh, where the hell actually was I? This is what happens when you detour. You detoured. I detoured so much. I was like, where was I? Drew comes up with a proposition for Valentine, as far as trying to get Victor off his ass. And, he's like, in exchange, I want ELQ. And he doesn't flat out turn him down. He's like, yo, listen, I'm interested. Um, but he does warn Drew, like, yo, listen, my dad, he's no joke. Like, he will not just threaten you, he will threaten the people that you love. So if you're gonna do this, just fair warning. In so many ways, the conversation between Nina and Ava was just pointless. Because while Nina was sitting there talking about how happy she was with Sonny and giving him a chance and being like, yeah, I can accept the fact that Carly is always going to be in our lives, I was like, well, you should, because the dude has kids with her. Like, I don't understand, just like, you know what, if I think about it long enough, I think I may just get a nosebleed, so I'm not gonna do that to myself. But after they talked about that, Ava, here's the thing, Ava clearly seems like she was upset, and Nina wants to sit there and find out what it was. But throughout this whole conversation, she doesn't really sit there and say why she's upset. She doesn't sit there and say, oh, well, because Nicholas cheated on me with Esme. She doesn't say that. So it makes this conversation, this whole scene, in so many ways, just a moot point. And again, I'm sorry for the glare. It's just it's annoying. I was like, I'm sorry for the glare. All I had to do was just move my big ass head 2 inches that way, and I solved my whole damn problem. Um, Victor pretty much had a meeting, set it up a meeting with and Nicholas and Alexis. Bottom line is, um, Victor wants to use Victor wants to use Alexis's newspaper to, try to find a way to get Spencer, free to charges and everything like that. I was going to sit there and say Nancy because in a lot of ways I felt like this was kind of Nancy speaking through. And granted, optics matter. Because Alex was like, yo, listen, can you imagine, even if I did do that and we got him free for a crime that he did commit, as opposed to Trina, which is a black woman, going to jail for a crime that she didn't commit? What are you, nuts? No. And right then and there, it's almost like Nicholas just had that epiphany, like, yeah, yeah, she's right. I'm like, yeah, because what's really sad about that whole scene is that Alexis seemed like she was the only person that didn't seem like she was out of touch with optics and the way that things are seen and, privilege and things of that nature. Meanwhile, you got Nicholas and Victor like, yeah, that's a good point. I ain't think of that. Now, Nicholas' expression on his face reminds me so much of what Liz's face would have been like if Jordan would have been like, yo, listen, before you just bursted on in here and started sitting there saying how I treated your son, if this was my son and cops were drawing their guns on him, what do you think would end up happening? She would have had that same dumbfounded look on her face that Nicholas had today. Anyway, she said she was going to come up with some sort of plan or whatever. I'm not really too sure. I think this was to help train him. Anyway, I feel like that's pretty much about it. So with that being said, I'm going to go. I want to thank you for watching. Be safe. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below, and I will see everyone in the next video.